नमस्कार दोस्तों. Preamble to the Indian Constitution consists of many values, goals and aspiration, and one among them is fraternity. Fraternity is always promoted. Fraternity is not secured. Justice can be secured, liberty can be secured, but fraternity cannot be secured. It is always promoted. And once it is promoted, it assures the dignity of the individual, it assures the unity and integrity of the nation. So in this video, friends, we are going to study about fraternity and how it assures the dignity of the individual, how it assures the unity and integrity of the nation. Welcome to SRIRAM's IAS UPSC Prep channel. Welcome to this series of studying Indian polity through mind maps. Let's begin our lecture. But before I start, I would like to tell you about the one-to-one free mentorship of SRIRAM's IAS. If you have any doubt regarding your preparation, you can come to our expert mentor and discuss about your doubts. The only thing which you have to do is to go to the description of this video, click the link and fill the form, and we are going to approach you. So moving forward and studying about fraternity in the preamble. Now preamble mentions many goals and aspiration which the country has to achieve. And we have been achieving this. These goals were very much true during the commencement of the constitution. They are very much true today also, and we are always in a perpetual mood of achieving this. What these goals and aspirations are: justice, equality, liberty and fraternity. Let's study about fraternity today. So constitutional mention is there. If you see in the preamble, fraternity assuring the dignity of the individual and unity and integrity of the nation. अब इसमें तीन चीजें बहुत जरूरी हैं दोस्तों, ध्यान से देखिए. पहली तो है fraternity. This is the first thing. The other thing is dignity of the individual, and the third thing is the unity and integrity of the nation. We are going to prove in this video how fraternity is important to maintain dignity of the individual and how fraternity is important to maintain the unity and integrity of the nation. So this is the constitutional mention, this is the constitutional background of the word fraternity. Now fraternity is always promoted. देखिए, आप जस्टिस को सिक्योर कर सकते हैं, लिबर्टी को सिक्योर कर सकते हैं, आप दूसरे एस्पिरेशंस को भी सिक्योर कर सकते हैं, बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू फ्रेटर्निटी, दैट इज नॉट सिक्योर्ड, दैट इज ऑलवेज प्रमोटेड. भाई ब्रदरहुड को हमेशा प्रमोट ही करना पड़ेगा. ये तो इंडिविजुअल्स के ऊपर होता है, सेक्शंस के ऊपर होता है कि वो एक सेक्शन को दूसरे सेक्शन को इक्वल ट्रीट करें, एक दूसरे को रिस्पेक्ट दें और एक दूसरे को डिग्निफाइड वे में देखें, एक दूसरे को एक्सेप्ट करें और टॉलरेट करें. So fraternity is always promoted, you must remember this. But once fraternity is promoted, then automatically the dignity of the individual is maintained, automatically the unity and integrity of the nation is also stabilized. Integrity. This particular word, integrity, so the unity of the nation was there, but the word integrity was added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1976. There were several changes which were made in the preamble through this particular amendment. Several words were added: socialist word, secular and integrity word. These three words were added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Now, what is the meaning of fraternity? Brotherhood. In a very simplistic manner, if you want to understand, is this concept, it is brotherhood, the feeling of reverence and love and respect towards the other person, towards the way of life of other person, acceptance and tolerance towards the way of life of other people, the thinking of other people and the habits and the behaviors of other people. That is what is brotherhood. Mutual coexistence, that is what is brotherhood. Brotherhood, a sense of common belonging among citizen. अब ये कॉमन बिलोंगिंग जो है दोस्तों, ये किस चीज की है? कॉमन बिलोंगिंग शेयर्ड बिलीव्स की भी हो सकती है, बिलीव दैट वी ऑल लिव इन द सिंपल सेम कंट्री. ये कॉमन पॉलिटिकल गोल्स भी हो सकते हैं, जैसे सेक्युलरिज्म को मेंटेन करना है, डेमोक्रेसी को मेंटेन करना है. एट द सेम टाइम शेयर्ड पॉलिटिकल बिलीव्स भी हो सकते हैं. बहुत सी चीजें हो सकती हैं जो कॉमन रहती हैं. Or when a large section of population, the whole country, believes in these goals, then automatically a sense of common belonging comes and automatically brotherhood is seen. So ये बहुत important elements हैं दोस्तों, जो it comes through the territory in which we are living from a very long time. It comes through the common history which we share. the common history where the legends and the events of the history are similar to everybody. That is very important. Now, moving forward, it goes beyond equality and liberty and ensures emotional unity. अब emotional unity होने के लिए कुछ ना कुछ commonality तो होनी चाहिए. कहीं ना कहीं आप shared values, shared beliefs, कॉमन पॉलिटिकल आइडेंटिटी दिखनी चाहिए, तभी तो एक इमोशनल बॉन्डिंग होगा. थिंक अबाउट अ सिचुएशन वेयर यू गो टू अ वेस्टर्न कंट्री एंड मीट एन इंडियन देयर. हाउ डू यू फील? You feel very near to the home. What is that? That is emotional unity. और ये emotional unity ऐसे ही नहीं आ जाती है. Emotional unity आने में टाइम लगता है. इमोशनल यूनिटी बिल्ट होती है धीरे धीरे. और भारत के इतिहास को अगर आप उठाकर देखेंगे, सो द struggle against the British rule which the Indians have fought, this emotional unity was in making. Despite of the diversity which India had between the regions, between the cultures, between the religions, there was an underpass. There was this simmering thing, and that unity, that simmering unity was always there. You know, it was that we all people living in this territory, sharing similar history, common political goals, ideals and identity, are one people. That is what happens when you have fraternity. That is how it ensures the emotional unity among the citizens of the country. Now moving forward, it promotes the spirit of common सिटीजनशिप. सिटीजनशिप एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट है संविधान का. सिटीजनशिप फुल मेंबरशिप देता है, इक्वल मेंबरशिप देता है सबको. और दोस्तों, इक्वालिटी सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है फ्रेटर्निटी का. अगर इक्वालिटी देश में नहीं होगी तो फ्रेटर्निटी कैसे हो सकती है? जब एक व्यक्ति दूसरे व्यक्ति को अपने बराबर नहीं देख सकता है, सेम डिग्निटी नहीं दे सकता है, सेम रिस्पेक्ट वर्थ नहीं दे सकता है, तो फ्रेटर्निटी की तो बात ही नहीं होनी चाहिए. फ्रेटर्निटी उसी समय होती है दोस्तों जब इक्वालिटी मेंटेन्ड हो सोसाइटी में. ओके, आई होप यू हैव गॉट दिस. सो प्रमोट्स द स्पिरिट ऑफ कॉमन सिटीजनशिप. और सिटीजनशिप जो है, कॉमन सिटीजनशिप जो है, मीन्स यू आर ऑल्सो इंडियन, आई एम ऑल्सो इंडियन. अ पर्सन हु बिलोंग्स टू एन इन्फ्लुएंशियल caste or an influential category is also an Indian. A person belonging to the deprived section of the society, deprived community, is also an Indian. So this one commonality is there, and that is very important. That is what tells that every human, every citizen who is living in India has the same dignity, respect and worth. And when this dignity, respect and worth will automatically be seen, that is the natural reflection of brotherhood and fraternity. I hope you are getting this. And that also helps in improving what? The dignity of the individual, and at the same time the unity and integrity of the nation. Now, dimensions of fraternity. There can be different dimensions. Okay, one of the dimension is fraternity itself. The other is the dignity of the individual. The third one is the unity and integrity of the nation. Now, what is this? Dignity of the individual. Each citizen's worth is respected. Every person is equal in front of the law. At the same time, we also follow the principles of equal protection of law. That simply means those people who are socially deprived, economically deprived, they are helped by the government. Affirmative actions are there for them. Okay, so that is how the worth is created. That is how, opportunity is created for the people, and through that opportunity also the worth is created. If you value a person, if the government values a person, then automatically you are going to provide some help if the person is socially deprived, economically and educationally deprived. And that is what is done, and that is what is secured and ensured in the Indian Constitution also. Special provisions can be made. Why all these things are happening? Because there shall be equality, to create egalitarian society. And in order to have egalitarian society, these special provisions are needed. And when you have an egalitarian society, or you are moving towards an egalitarian society, automatically this particular thing will be reflected. Each citizen's worth is respected. That simply means all of them will have same worth, same respect, same dignity. Moving on to the second dimension, unity of the nation. So what does it do? It promotes national integration across diversity. Now, on the basis of religion, caste, on the basis of races, India is very diverse. There has to be some kind of unity for the country to be stable, for the country to be governed in a proper way, and for a country to be, be running behind its development and growth. That unity is very much required, and India has done astonishingly well in front of the world. Despite of so much diversity in India, there is always a unity factor in India. Why is it coming? Because of fraternity. Why is it coming? Because the constitution itself gives the values and aspirations of equality, of liberty. And the unity of the nation is an automatic result of these provisions being implemented on the ground. So, unity of the nation promotes the integration across diversity. Now comes the integrity of the nation. The word integrity was added later on. What does it mean? Safeguard against separatism and communalism. So when equality is there, less and less separatism will be seen. Freedom is there, then again you need to have several restrictions also. The restrictions has to be reasonable also. Why? So that people do not express in such a way to create hatred, to create the feeling of separatism and communalism. So that is a very important element of fraternity. If fraternity is there, integrity will automatically be reflected. I hope you are getting this. Moving forward. Relations with other values. If you see how fraternity is related with other values, if you see, look one by one, liberty and equality. Do you really think without equality or without liberty, fraternity can be maintained? So fraternity, as per Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, in the debates in the Constituent Assembly, he has said that fraternity can only be implemented, promoted on ground if you have equality between different sections of the society, and at the same time you give freedom and liberty to all. Without liberty, without equality, there cannot be any kind of fraternity. Why one person will consider the other person as their brother? Why one person will consider the other person of the equal worth until you implement the provisions related with equality? You implement the provisions related with liberty. One caste is very liberal, the other is not. The other is bound in chains. And then they are discriminated. Then how can fraternity be implemented? How can fraternity be promoted? So that is something for us to understand. Moving forward, without fraternity, democracy risks becoming hollow. What is the meaning of democracy if everybody, every section of the society is pulling in different ends? Everybody wants to go in different directions. What is the meaning of democracy? Democracy is best when a unity in diversity is seen in the people. अगर यूनिटी बनी हुई है देश के लोगों में, तो साफ साफ ये बात सिद्ध हो जाएगी कि डेमोक्रेसी बहुत अच्छे से सुचारू रूप से इफेक्टिवली एंड एफिशिएंटली चलने वाला है. If there is no fraternity, if there is no brotherhood, there is no emotional bond between the people, there is no commonality between the people, democracy cannot survive. Because democracy is all about people. And it's not about one or two or three people or 3, 4, 5, 6%. Not also about one particular group, but democracy is about the collective people. That simply means the group of people, the larger group of people, which may have diversity, which may have many sections inside it, which may have many caste and religion within it. And when you say democracy, it is the will of the people which is reflected in the government. So that is what is democracy, and without fraternity, democracy is going to be hollow, because this group of people, this social group called Indians, which has the common political identity and shared belief to be an Indian, needs to have unity. Until there is unity, there cannot be brotherhood, there cannot be emotional bond, and vice versa. It's a cyclic thing. You have unity, brotherhood will automatically come. If you have brotherhood, you have fraternity, unity will automatically come. The third thing, strengthens justice, social, economic, political. Now, for justice also equality is important. For fraternity is also equality is important. So equality becomes one of the cornerstone, one of the most important value and aspiration of the Indian preamble. I hope you are getting this. So in order to strengthen the justice, social, economic and political, equality has to be there, and equality also has to be there for fraternity. And if fraternity is there, if brotherhood is there, if this common emotional bond between the citizens are there, automatically justice will be seen. आप सोच के देखिए, अगर brotherhood है, fraternity है, so then why one section of people will discriminate against the other? Why one section of people will sort of treat the other with less worth and less value? That will not happen. Does brother treat each other as unequals? It does not happen. That is what is brotherhood. A common feeling of love, respect, reverence for the other person. And hence we can safely conclude that fraternity strengthens social justice, economic justice and political justice in the country. Now, the constitutional provisions ensuring fraternity. If you see how fraternity and we have already seen that equality is one of the most important cornerstones. So is liberty if you have to promote fraternity on the grassroots level. So fundamental rights, Article 14 to 18, and liberty under Article 19 to 22. Okay, especially Article 19 of the Constitution. अगर liberty है, अगर equality है, तो फिर क्या होगा दोस्तों? फ्रेटर्निटी ऑटोमेटिकली रिफ्लेक्ट होगी उस सोसाइटी के अंदर. अगर अबॉलिशन ऑफ अनटचेबिलिटी नहीं किया जाता तो आपको लगता है क्या कि फ्रेटर्निटी रहती? आपको लगता है क्या कि एक किस्म का ब्रदरहुड रहता? सो इक्वालिटी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सिमिलरली फॉर द ग्रोथ ऑफ द सोसाइटी, फॉर द क्रिएशन, फॉर द इनोवेशन, व्हाट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट? लिबर्टी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. And that is the reason why if liberty is there, automatically it will result in promotion of fraternity. Moving forward, fundamental duties to promote harmony and common brotherhood. ये तो सीधा सीधा लिखा हुआ है. To transcend the differences we have, to transcend the diversity which we have. And at the same time, there are directive principles also. Article 38 of the Constitution, which talks about a social welfare society, which talks about removal of inequalities. Okay, so this is how. Along with this, there is Article 46 of the Constitution, which talks about promotion, the economic and social, economic and educational promotion of the backward classes, especially the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes. Similarly, if you see the fundamental rights here, under Article 15 of the Constitution, several discriminations are prohibited. And discrimination, especially on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, shall not be done. Similarly, no discrimination can be done in regard to the public employment under Article 16 of the Constitution. So ये सारी चीजें, fundamental right भी, directive principles भी, fundamental duties भी, they are trying to somehow promote fraternity in the country. Moving forward, challenges to fraternity. कुछ challenges भी हैं दोस्तों. सबसे पहले क्या है? caste system. अच्छा देखिए, fraternity के challenge क्या हो सकते हैं? The only challenge to the fraternity is nothing but the division in the society, and the division in the society have been there on many bases. It can be on the basis of caste, it can be on the basis of race, it can be on the basis of religion, it can be on the basis of language. So everything is reflected here. Caste system and untouchability, this is the first very very important challenge to fraternity in the country. Brotherhood कैसे होगा अगर untouchability चल रही है? Brotherhood कैसे होगा अगर caste system follow हो रहा है? साथ ही साथ communalism and religious intolerance. One religion does not respect other religion, or there is no equality between the religion, or there is no equality between the people following different faiths. There is hatred towards one community. There is dominance of majority religion over the minority religion. All these things are challenges in our country, and it is seen in one or the other way. It is seen on ground, and this has been a challenge. This was a challenge, and in the future we have to reduce this challenge, and at one point in time we have to eliminate it for the fraternity to be established. Similarly, regionalism and separatism. भाई आपका origin कहाँ से है, उसके बेसिस पे भी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हो सकता है. आपका डिसेंट कहाँ से है, आपका प्लेस ऑफ लिविंग कहाँ पर है, उसके बेसिस पे भी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होता है. सो ये जो रीजनलिज्म की भावना है ये वहां से लेके आती है. One region thinks that it is superior to other region. Now that is against fraternity. Linguistic chauvinism. one language is considered to be superior to the other, and the people living in a particular area has to speak, compulsorily has to speak in that language. That kind of chauvinism, that kind of force is against fraternity. Economic inequalities, of course. If there is a very poor person who is hand to mouth, and there is a very rich person with all the examples of concentration of wealth, how can you think about fraternity? Brotherhood. The brotherhood comes when there is economic justice in the country, when the resources, the material resources of the country have been distributed in such a manner that it is equitable in nature. Article 39B and C gives for that. Directive principles are there for that. Social media driven polarization. Mostly political parties do that for garnering of the vote, for winning of the people's heart by polarizing them. So the people are the center point in a democracy, and they have to understand that sometimes political parties go beyond their way to win the trust of the people, the votes of the people, and for that they sometimes do social media driven polarization, and it has to be eliminated. This thinking has to be eliminated for the fraternity to be promoted. There are several judicial interpretations also. If you see the Keshwananda Bharti case in 1973, it has said that preamble is the part of the basic structure of the constitution, and preamble contains the word fraternity, integrity, unity, everything. So it becomes a basic structure, isn't it? Similarly, in the Indira Shawnee case, says that social justice is linked with fraternity in this case. So if you have fraternity, social justice will automatically be there, isn't it? Similarly, S.R. Bomoi case in 1994, it said that secularism, specifically said that secularism is the basic structure of the Indian constitution. So if you have secularism, then only you can have fraternity, unity, integrity in the nation, isn't it? So unity and integrity upheld as essential to federalism. So secularism also requires some kind of brotherhood, some kind of fraternity, and it's a cyclic thing. If you have secularism in the country, if you treat two religions as equals, the people who are following different faiths as equals, automatically the fraternity can be seen. Automatically the brotherhood, the common respect, mutual coexistence will be reflected in the society. Now, what is the present day relevance of brotherhood? What is the present day relevance of फ्रेटर्निटी? एक एक करके देखते हैं दोस्तों. हेट स्पीच, मॉब लिंचिंग, ये सब चल रहा है. कम्युनल राइट्स भी हैं. दैट इज अ बिगेस्ट चैलेंज टू फ्रेटर्निटी. ये कास्ट बेसिस पे भी हो जाता है, रिलीजन के बेसिस पे भी हो जाता है, हेट स्पीच पोलराइजेशन करने के लिए हो जाती है. ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर अ बिग चैलेंज इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड टू द फ्रेटर्निटी ऑफ द इंडियन पीपल. इंक्रीजिंग कास्ट एंड रिलीजियस बेस्ड मोबिलाइजेशन. आप देख रहे हैं लगातार मोबिलाइजेशन, स्पेशली रिलीजन बेस्ड मोबिलाइजेशन बहुत तेजी से बढ़ता जा रहा है, एंड पॉलिटिकल फोर्सेस आर बिहाइंड इट. द पीपल हैज टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ फार दे वांट टू गो व्हेन इट कम्स टू पोलराइजेशन. You may follow one religion, but nobody can say that their religion is superior to the other religion. And if that kind of feeling is there throughout the country, then it affects federalism in a negative manner. Need for inclusive policies and tolerance and pluralism, that is the need. Now, if you have the need of inclusive policy, if you have the need of tolerance and pluralism, how can then that happen? Until and unless you have fraternity, until and unless there is a common reverence, love, respect for the other person or the other section or the other group. So in order to implement these inclusive policy, you need to have brotherhood, you need to have fraternity in the country. Similarly, unity in diversity as the guiding principle. Today, in today's world, where you see so many challenges such as hate speech, mob lynching and other things, because of religious polarization, because of caste polarization, because of language chauvinism, at that point in time, fraternity becomes a very important tool to maintain harmony in the society and for the growth and development of the country. So this was all about fraternity, friends. I hope you have understood. If you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section and I am going to reply back to it. So thank you very much for joining me in this video. Have a nice day and Jai Hind.